Everybody's fed up with this Dallas Cowboys Mike McCarthy team. He came into the year with everybody talking about, hey, this is your last chance. What do? I don't know. Dak Prescott has his best year, about to win MVP. They win 12 games. In the NFC East, which was obviously very volatile, they have a successful, dominant year. And then as soon as you get in the playoffs, Super Wildcard weekend at a home game, a place that you've made a real thing. Home field advantage is real for the Dallas Cowboys. Then Mike McCarthy goes out there, lays an egg. The team stinks. Jimmy Johnson gives a halftime speech that's on Fox that everybody's jacked up about.
Yeah.
Everybody's well. Jimmy has more fire than anybody on that sideline right now. It only made it worse, only amplified it more. And now the whole, is it Belichick or Harbaugh? And then you mentioned Vrabes obviously still available. Maybe Vrabes down there. Jerry Jones has a very difficult decision to make. But if Bill Belichick is the Dallas Cowboys head coach, the world might implode on itself.
Yeah.
This is just like when Tom Brady was potentially going to be a Dallas Cowboy quarterback. Remember, because Jerry Jones had massive respect. And we were in the sports media world kind of younger at the time, and everybody was like, if Tom Brady goes to the Dallas Cowboys, you might as well just move the ESPN headquarters down to Dallas. Like, if Bill Belichick goes to the Dallas Cowboys, Jerry, Bill, press conferences, what happens with Dak on the defensive side with all that talent? I assume a Belichick-led defense ain't going to give up 27-zip in the first half. I don't think that's going to take place. Dan Quinn's D kind of laid an egg. It's like they're set for success as well. It's almost like it feels like the right move. Do you think Jerry makes the play, and how do you feel about it all, Tone?
Now, was yesterday bad? It was very, 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 very bad. But to be honest, it's been bad for the Cowboys for a long time. Maybe they need to lower their expectations a little bit. 3 straight 12-5 seasons, and they want to fire Big Mike McCarthy. Now, like I said, yesterday was horrendous, and Bill is out there, and everyone is out there. But, like, they haven't won, what is it, 30 years?
96, I think.
30 years? Like, maybe this is just who they are, okay? Like, if the Lions win 12-5 for 3 straight years, those fans would be ecstatic.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, but
the situation.
if you lost 3 straight, like, I don't know.
But they won last. I mean, they got beat by the
worse.
Niners last year after they won one. I think the same the year before. But yeah, I mean, listen, Jerry's getting old. Jerry sees the writing on the wall, and if he only needs Bill to coach 3 years, get them a Super Bowl and be fine. Like, he doesn't. I mean, Jerry doesn't care about 10 years from now. Is Jerry going to be around 10 years?
And Jerry Stephen, pretty good drafters, I think is what everybody said about Bill Belichick. Him going down to Dallas would be filthy. Same with Harbaugh. Would definitely be a tone change as opposed to what Mike McCarthy has, I guess, is what everybody says.
Yeah, I think it's done. I don't even know why the consideration of Big Mike is still being there. It won't be. Jason Garrett said 48 hours he'll support the players and the coaches. That was for you, Jason. You were part of the family. We all remember.
It was a lot longer than that. It was like 2 weeks, remember?
Yeah, and that's the thing about Jason Garrett you might forget is that I doubt they have the same relationship. He played quarterback for the Cowboys. But no, put Bill down there now. As a Patriots fan, I love it. I think Bill Belichick is the perfect coach for the Dallas Cowboys. Everyone doesn't like him. Everyone already hates the Cowboys. Bring them in together, and they'll probably win the Super Bowl. He'll get 15 wins probably maybe in a year, definitely within 2. I feel like it's a done deal, over, signed, sealed, delivered.
The 15 wins is the record for coaches, how many wins in NFL history. He's 15 wins away, which some people thought he was going to be able to get this past year and this upcoming season with the Patriots, which is how his contract was structured just last offseason whenever he did it with Gerard Mayo to succeed him. Now, it came a lot much quicker because of how terrible they were this season. Him going down there, I could see him having success.
Oh, yeah.
We could also seen him, and this got mentioned on Friday by Lombo. And Lombo, I guess, does have a little thing against Matt LaFleur. But the thought of Bill Belichick on the Green Bay Packers sideline was not even thought of by me until Lombo brought it up during our conversation on Friday where he's like, everybody's talking about the Cowboys losing and Bill going down there. He's like, how about the Packers? The Packers lose. Do you don't think Mark Murphy's going to think to himself, Matt LaFleur or Bill Belichick? Well, Lombo, I want to let you know, I think we got the answer.
Yeah.
Matt LaFleur is the answer. This has been a phenomenal coaching job.
Oh, yeah.
Year 1, year 2. They talked about it the entire game pretty much, about how they went into the season with no number 1 wide receiver. We'll figure it out. Obviously, Watson had some experience from last year. Dobbs had some experience from last year. We bring in 11 Reed or whatever. He might be a guy. Aaron Jones is by far our best player, but he's going to end up going through injuries. So they just went into the year kind of like, let's figure it out. Let's see how it goes. And towards the end of it, Jordan Love, 21 touchdowns, 1 interception or something?
Yeah, over the last 9 games, yep.
He's like the greatest. He's the greatest quarterback in the league.
Yeah.
It's his first year playing. A lot of people were wondering, is this guy going to get a shot? Is he going to be another kind of vicious cycle victim where it's just like never really gets a chance to do what he does, and he only has 1 year to kind of prove if he's going to be a starting NFL quarterback going forward? He is phenomenal.
Yeah.
So good.
Stupendous.
Filthy.
I don't know the proper adjective. I think that's what you call a word that describes somebody. All the good ones is what Jordan Love is. He's big, he's fast, and he hasn't even really started running all over people yet.
No, not at all.
I mean, that's a whole nother weapon that he has at his disposal that we didn't even have to see the other night because the Green Bay Packers offensive line did so damn well. There was a one play early where Aaron Jones ran into left tackle or whatever, and I thought to myself, wait a minute. Maybe this Dallas Cowboys D-line is going to expose an offensive line. Then he went to the sideline, gut check time. They're back. He had all day. And when he didn't have all day, he was manipulating the pocket, making the right reads down the field. This dude is so good. And Matt LaFleur needs to get a lot of the credit for making him this good because this is the LaFleur offense that he got hired to run, and it's being run perfectly. It's being run beautifully. Guys are open, guys are scoring, and they just beat the dog shit out of the Dallas Cowboys defense, Ty.
Yeah, I mean, I tweeted it last night. That was the most fun I've had watching a football game since the Packers won a Super Bowl in Jerry World 14 years ago. I mean, we talked about it on Friday, and I think it would I really did. I think a lot of people just assume that you're a Packers fan. Like, of course, you're going to say, I thought they were going to win. I really did. I would have never envisioned they were going to just beat the shit out of them from opening bell to closing bell. Like we mentioned it. They're
supposed to be a little stressful.
Just a tiny bit.
They're supposed to be stressful.
But it just, I mean, we talked about like Love and kudos to LaFleur too for understanding like, hey, the last thing we want to do is defer to the second half, let the Cowboys go down the field and score, and then be able to kind of pin their ears back and come after Jordan Love. They took the
Was Jair out there for a coin toss or no?
I do not believe he was, but in spirit,
that's a miss.
In spirit, he was. Didn't need him yesterday. We'll see about next week. But no, they went right down the field, marched down the field, and scored. And you said the thing about Hembo, receivers were wide open all day, but on third downs when the coverage was a little bit stickier, every single time, Love in a keyhole when they needed it, moving the chains, like he's unbelievable. And again, like a lot of people were sending the draft thing, and hand up. In the moment, obviously you think that's dumb because
NFC Championship.
They're coming off an NFC Championship, but that's why I'm a fan and not the GM of the Packers, because they saw something in this guy and they knew, and obviously sitting behind Aaron, and just kind of, because they mentioned that on the broadcast a lot yesterday. They're like, the LaFleur offense with Rodgers was kind of a marrying of what Rodgers liked to do and what LaFleur wanted to do. This year is the first fully, like, this is my offense. Love knows my offense. And it is. It's just, you can't, it's hard to come to grips with the fact that they have all these young guys who are either fifth round picks, guys you've never really heard of, and they just ball. And a big part of it is Love, obviously, because they talk about him in the locker room too. Everyone loves him. He's very easy to be around. Like they all have supreme confidence in him. He is playing, I think he is the best quarterback in the NFL right now. We'll talk about C.J. Stroud later, and he's been unbelievable. But what Love has done over the last 9 weeks.
He looks so cool doing it.
He does. He does.
And all these young guys are kind of taking their turn, too.
Yeah.
It's one, like you see with Dallas, like it's going to be certain situations where, hey, we got to get the ball to 88. Let's find a way to get the ball to 88. Or years past, hey, we got to get Devontae Adams. All right, and as a defense, if we key and take that guy out, now someone else has to continue to be. But for the Packers, with how they are, all the weapons are alive. Like I'm sure they talked a bunch about Reed in those pre-game meetings and his motions, him coming across, speed sweeps, verts, all that. He was almost like a decoy for the most part. But Jordan Love, that touchdown, that 3rd and 7 touchdown against cover 0, him seeing that pre-snap, checking to it, getting his guys involved, and then having the wherewithal to sit in the pocket and still make that accurate throw off with somebody in his face. A lot of these throws, someone like a step away from him. So, we can't say that. This guy's it's special, man.
Yeah, there was some stuff being said about Gilmore last night because some of the route concepts that made him believe that maybe somebody was going the wrong direction and he went the complete opposite way. That's going to happen. Okay, people run 20 miles an hour. There's a lot going on out there. But I do believe the Packers offense and the Packers defense.
I was going to say, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, like, the defense played unbelievable. I was kind of thinking in my head, like, in order for them to win this game, they're probably going to have to be at least +2 in the turnover battle. And will and behold, both of obviously Jair with this one early in the game, which was massive, because if the Cowboys go down and score there and it's 7-7, like, who knows what happens, but they punched in right away. And then just the backbreaker of all backbreakers.
Yeah, because Cowboys getting ball.
Exactly.
Second half.
Exactly. And
so they score there, and then they come out, score. All of a sudden, we got, 20-10?
Right.
That's little bit different. 2014, that's a bit different than 27-0 mentally.
Exactly, because they did. Then they closed the half. They went down and scored a touchdown, got the ball back and kicked a field goal. So it was a little bit. But then again, like the Packers, okay, so the Cowboys, in the middle eight, they score 10 points. Packers on their first possession of the second half go right down the field and score a touchdown. And it's just like, all right, game, set, match. I mean, and obviously later on when, you can kind of just like, hey, let's just not lose this thing. The defense, they kind of, they give up a couple garbage time touchdowns, but they pressured Dak all day. The secondary was unbelievable. The linebackers were unbelievable. It just all around the board. I mean, they couldn't have played a more perfect game.
I appreciate the fact that the Packers are advancing and won a playoff game.
Yeah,
good for
unbelievable.
Now they